Welcome, everybody, to the Let's Get Critical podcast, not to be confused with our hit song, Let's Go Critical. That's right. This is Frantic Romantic with our music podcast where we talk about albums. We critique albums. We worship albums sometimes, or we put them down, but we usually don't because we're not mean. But it's been a little while. We won't tell you how long it's been, but it's been a little while. But now we're back. As you can see, we have a special guest with us. I know him as E-Man. He'll always be E-Man to me, but sir, go ahead and tell the audience who you are.
Man, just kind of put me on the spot like that. All
Absolutely.
The lights, all the cameras. And then as soon as you said that, that's when the anxiety came.
Can we get that AC on now?
Yeah, I could definitely go over that, all getting all red and flustered. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Emmanuel Rodriguez. But as mentioned before, I am going by E-Man. I used to go as Vitamin E-Man.
Vitamin E-Man
for a hot minute. Still kind of use that from time to time.
Medicine Cabinet.
For the Medicine Cabinet, yeah, it's a radio show that I used to host.
KCRH?
Yeah. Oh, we gave them free plug.
Shout out. Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to go over to the program director and be like, you owe us $5. Put you out there.
So really today we're in the church of we're in your church today.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Our operation, we're still a budding operation, but you're the master.
He's coming to do an audit. He's auditing us, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
You need a clipboard.
Yes. Yeah. No, mental pictures of everything. Yes.
Yeah.
You're still a scrub if you use a clipboard. A clipboard.
While hiding mine.
I got like a notebook here, man.
Michael's, mine's digital.
Well, yours is a little bit better than that because of the fact that you have to use your own hand to kind of balance it as you write. So you're fine. You're
like a poet.
You're going up the ladder. You're going up the ladder with
I
that.
appreciate that. Thank you.
See, I have Cliff Notes, but the camera the table kind of blocks it, so it looks like I'm just looking down, like I'm saying something without confidence. You know?
Remember, we're not wearing glasses today, so they'll see your eyes. Normally we wear them because we're all reading our notes. You know?
I got bad vision, so I'm going to be like this.
And I got a Bernie Mac guy. I usually wear glasses because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac.
And I'm going to be looking at my cell phone as we go over the notes for everything, so it looks like I'm going to be on Instagram the entire time.
Hey, it all, that's just a part of the mystique, man.
Right.
You're just semi-interested in being on the show, and you're
Semi might be,
you're on
a little much.
You're on your Insta in the meantime,
Yes,
As long as you don't start doing the TikTok dance in the background and shit,
Today we are talking about a very special album. I mean, they're all special albums, right? Every album's a gem, kind of, except for Suave Octopus. That's not a gem. Actually, it is. We're going to do Suave Octopus one of these days. That's a different story.
Still trying to make that a thing, yes.
Yeah. But today we're talking about an album that our good buddy E-Man picked. And, this was this band's, I would argue, second biggest commercial album. And this was definitely a part of their heyday. They are deep in the zeitgeist. And that is 2003's Meteora by the band Linkin Park. Now, a couple factoids. Yes, this is their second studio album. Hybrid Theory was their first album, which came out in 2000, and this came out in 2003. It has sold 16 million copies worldwide alone, which is nuts. Linkin Park has sold 100 million copies of all their albums worldwide total. Yeah.
Staggering.
And this was their last album with producer Don Gilmore before they switched over to Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
And Rick Rubin, I believe, produced all the rest of their albums, maybe.
Except for the last one, I think.
Maybe except for the last.
Yeah.
The last one doesn't seem like a Rick Rubin presents.
No, I think they worked with like the One Republic guys or something like that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Now, just a brief kind of summary of the show. We always start off with our general thoughts, and then we get a little bit deeper into the tracks, and then of course we end with the roast. But E-Man, Vitamin E. I would like to know why you picked this album and what it means to you.
I don't know if you guys listened to the interview that Mike Shinoda did a couple of months back.
Yeah, they just put out the 20?
Yeah, the 20th anniversary. Jeez, we're old.
I know. It's kicked me already.
Yeah, I hate those guys on the internet that's like, this song turns this age. Like, I want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Man, I've been feeling old since the early 2000s.
Right? I always said I was an old soul in a young man's body, but it's not a young man's body anymore. So he did an interview with it, and he talked about how, and I feel like this is what really set the tone for how Linkin Park made music, because what he essentially said was an Italian rock magazine labeled them as I'm not saying a boy band, but the epitome of a boy band, in the sense of like, this was generated through music executives and people who had no business working on music whatsoever. And they took that to heart. And they were like, all right, the next album that we're going to work on is going to be completely different. We're going to make sure it sounds way different than Hybrid Theory.
Right.
And then if you listen to all the other albums that came out after that, regardless of who was producing it, it was a completely different sound from everything else.
Instruments, everything was different. Amps, completely different.
So I always figure like, it was kind of like the idea of what Tekken is to fighting games, and that, yes, there was a Tekken 1 and there was a Tekken 2, but it was really Tekken 3 that everything started. I feel like that's the same idea with Linkin Park. And this is not a knock to Hybrid Theory or Reanimation, but it felt like, okay, this is when the guys realized, this is what we want. We're going to do this, and this is what came of it.
It's interesting that you say that, because, you know, and we'll talk, I'm sure it's going to be a pretty lengthy conversation, just our thoughts on Linkin Park, because it was such a monumental band, right? But I remember buying Hybrid Theory back in 2000, and I listened to it for a little while, but my thoughts were kind of similar to that, where it's like, this seems like it's like new metal and rock, but it also seems like there's like a kind of like a Backstreet Boys element to it. It felt
marketing, right?
Very manufactured. And the sad thing is, years later, right? I did a deep dive on Linkin Park about 3 years ago, and I realized like, oh no, this was a band that was organically formed and organically made their music, and like, these are their ideas.
Dude, they got passed on 52 times, 53 times. Labels just kept passing on them.
Yeah.
They said, we don't know what to do with you. I don't understand that, you know?
Yeah.
And look how much, 100 million albums. That's insane.
I know.
You know? Honestly, when people talk like, oh, I don't really get what you're doing, I always say, yeah, people didn't get what Linkin Park was doing either.
Right. I would say Linkin Park, for me personally, at least, I don't know if the greater, if this is opinions shared with everybody, but I feel like there was four distinct phases of Linkin Park. There was the first two albums, then the third and the fourth album, then the fifth and the sixth album, and then the seventh album. My favorite phase by them is the fifth and sixth album. I would say this is probably my second favorite, because this was their heyday. Third favorite would probably be their, let's just call it the Transformers
that was
era.
the fourth, wasn't it? I'll say that was more
3 and 4.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was album 3 and 4. And then I think probably everybody's least favorite was their last album. But I don't know. I don't know how like familiar everybody is here with.
Well, I did the deep dive like you did. You mentioned it to me, and I was like, you know what? Why the hell not? So I went in and did that. I had never bothered getting past Minutes to Midnight. And then I was like, oh, you know, you were really big on Hunting Party, and I was like, I'll check that out. And I really liked that too.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Hybrid Theory and Meteora are awesome. And sorry, I don't mean to be like hijacking the conversation here,
No.
but we'll get into it more.
He's super excited right now.
I am. It's interesting. Like I'll say a few pluses and a few minuses on the album in general. Right, for me, the pluses are like sonically speaking. I think all the instrumentation and the like the what Chester and Mike are doing, right, with the vocals and how they kind of switch off and their chemistry, I think, is amazing. The only knock I have on it is I feel like the lyrics in general get a little bit reductive, but I'll get into that later. But I also want to know like everybody's general opinion. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're good, man.
So like, you know, I'll give a little, you know what? I'll let you go. We'll go in a circle, man.
Oh no, actually, I'm genuinely interested. I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
All right, so
because this was the one that I chose.
Right,
I'm pretty
right.
sure when we switch over to the other ones, then I'll probably go a little bit first on those. But yeah, I do genuinely want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
So I think age-wise, Zeke and I were in the age where we were becoming adults when this came out. Hybrid Theory in 2000 came out my senior year, like going into my senior year. So like I'll be straight up honest, I had bright red hair because of fucking that album, you know?
Yeah.
And even in 2003, I had like streaks still because of that, because I felt it was so different from a lot of the stuff out there. And people would in general be like, oh, that's just fucking Limp Park or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, amalgamating fucking Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit. And I was like, no, I don't feel like it's at all. No, there's it's like Saturn and the sun. I don't know. You know what I mean? They're super apart from each other. When this came out,
this is Coca-Cola and this is RC Cola.
RC Cola, yeah, exactly. So like, I remember I was working on an album in the studio, and the producer was very like in the know about everything that was out. So it was like we were working on an album when Linkin Park was working on Meteora, and we were watching a lot of the behind the scenes footage, like as we were working on it, you know. And I remember he was kind of like shit talking them. He's like, they keep saying epic. They keep saying everything's epic. He's like, what the fuck, man? Like, it better not be a letdown, you know? And it came out, and like you guys said, I feel like they got a little more in step with where they wanted to go. They, the songs had a little bit more instrumentation that was like, you know, with like the Asian flutes and like some of that. And I thought that was really cool. Like, first listen, I was like, but I thought it was really cool. It was very innovative. Yeah.
I'll go next, man. To be honest, when they first came out, I avoided them purposely. So
Not your cup of tea.
no, it wasn't that. It was more of like, oh man, you know, I was still more feeling like I barely got into grunge. I got into grunge kind of late. I was still feeling that, and then like indie music, I was really into, and I was into a lot of other things. So anything that was popular at the time, I avoided, and I missed out a lot because I was working at Media Play, the record store, at the time when this album came out, and it was huge. Well, I'm sorry, no, rewind that. When they first came out with Hybrid Theory.
Yeah.
And I saw how that blew up, and I saw how many kids came in, and they brought in their parents, and they were all asking, where's the album at? We kept selling out of it. So by the time this album came out, I was like, well, I don't want to listen to that. It's probably more of the same, you know? This is the first time I heard the album since you recommended it, and then listening for the show, and I was really taken back by it because I was like, I missed this out when I probably really needed it back then. Because when you're younger and when you're turning into a young adult, you're going through a lot of shit, right? And I'm sure I would have related more to this album if I listened to it back then, but listening to it now, it made me reflect on a lot of things I was going through back then too. So I think I would have appreciated it more back then, but I think it aged well. I honestly do think it aged
definitely.
well.
Same.
There is a few songs that you do hear, one or two, that's like, yo, that's hella new metal, dude. That has a straight up
They
ingredients
definitely
of it.
got ranked properly because of that for me.
Yeah.
But you know what? Back then I was into Korn. I was into Deftones.
You're still into Deftones.
I am very much, yeah. But Linkin Park, for some reason, I was like, no, I didn't really appreciate them till my girlfriend at the time, my wife. We went to a concert, right? And she's always talking. She loves Linkin Park.
I remember you changed after that concert, right?
Dude, and I took her to go see them. They were headlining, and I was blown away by the performance. I wasn't into their music at the time either, but I was so blown away, man, that it changed my perspective on it.
I remember.
I was like, wow.
And this should kind of age us a little bit, but again, we're all adults enough to know that we're old.
Yeah.
Or at least older.
What? I'm not old. No.
But I remember I bust your chops a little bit because I remember you were driving us somewhere and I saw the Minutes to Midnight album. I'm just like, are you freaking serious right now?
That made me get into that album.
Yeah.
That was a really good album.
It was a good album.
And I think out of all the albums, that's my favorite, to be honest with you. But because of seeing them perform live like that, I started that wall, that no Linkin Park.
Yeah,
because
it broke down.
They're huge, man. They're so huge. So I thought anything that big, it just commercial wise,
corporate, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was like this fucking funny little moment we had. We were, I think, maybe around the Mark Joseph people or some of the younger kids. And it was just hella like an awkward moment. And you were like, somebody said Linkin Park and you said, crawling in my nose or some shit like that. You were like a drug reference and nobody got it. Just me and you were the ones who laughed about that. So.
We did make a lot of offbeat jokes.
I mean, that's
like
when you didn't
no.
like them though, you know? So I was surprised when you liked them later.
Yeah. They were phenomenal live, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If anybody's got a chance to see them live before, sadly, Chester passed away, man, so much energy, dude. They just didn't stop moving around. Chester was going back and forth to the front, to the back.
Great balance with him and Mike, right?
Oh man, yeah, dude. He was awesome. So
Very cohesive band.
yeah.
So yeah, like I mentioned before, that was the reason I chose the album, was because it set the tone for how the band was going to write the rest of their music, and also in the idea of going past adversity, because again, there were these guys that were saying like, oh, these guys are just manufactured, they're not real, they're fake, all that, and then the response was, okay, this is what we're going to do in response to that,
Right.
And again, over how many? Over 100 million albums.
They've sold over 100 million albums.
Like based on, I imagine if that guy hadn't said that, where would the band be now? And what would we have gotten as far as their sophomore album? Would it have been anywhere near this, or did they already have a formula that they were going to try for? And
because I know they wrote this on the road.
Yes,
while they were touring the shit out of
they were one of the first people to install a studio in their tour bus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mind you, this isn't the simple times where you can get a smartphone or a tablet and record onto there. Like, they had to get full on equipment into that as they traveled, and they didn't stop. They kept going.
Yeah.
So they were always on the road, and when they were on the road, they were recording something new before they were going on for the performances.
And what's pretty cool is that you saw the fruits of their labor, because the label obviously had a lot of faith in them. You see a band come out with the first album, they throw all the money there. Second album comes out, it's just kind of like.
And let's go into that for real quick. You did get Hybrid Theory, and then almost immediately you got Reanimation, which were remixes with so many other different artists.
Yeah.
That I don't consider that their sophomore album, because it was just a remake of what they already had. But imagine that.
It was like 1.5, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
people heard that. Musicians heard that, and they said, I want to get in on this.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of spawned what we did, right?
Right.
Honestly,
And it just it goes to show the level of talent that you already had for that. And then even some of the performances, you probably saw the performance of, it wasn't Crawling, it was, oh man. Why am I brain fighting of all times now?
One Step Closer.
One Step Closer. Yeah. When they do One Step Closer, it's more closer to the Reanimation album than it is to the Hybrid Theory album.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they perform that live, it has that more feeling to it.
Yeah.
So it became more of the default. And then going into Meteora, Zeke had already touched on this, but I second it. They don't stop in that album. Every song on there is just, they're going 110% on every single song that they go out for.
Yeah.
So
Even
they
the
never
videos,
stop.
bro. The videos
Videos
were
are
like, damn, they threw hella money.
Yeah, and then you can also see more of them, because if you remember, one of their music videos was an anime. It was like,
Yeah.
I love that, Breaking the Habit. Yeah.
Breaking the Habit. It was very anime inspired.
They went to Japan and everything too. It was cool.
What you then realize is that these hard rocking guys are giant nerds.
They went to art school.
Who in that case also draws in more people, because it's just like, oh, I'm kind of like that too, and they kind of dive into that. So we got to see that album also grow, because they were being able to present more of themselves.
Right.
Not that they didn't, the Reanimation album also had a couple of music videos.
But you figure Hybrid probably had a lot of corporate, their hands were a little
Their
more
fingerprints
in it.
were all over it.
Right. Because they say between themselves that they disagreed on a lot of things between them, but they just compromised. They're like, whatever, we just got to get it out.
But you gotta let us do this on this song. So.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Sure.
It's crazy. So with that said, this next part of our podcast, we don't do it because it's easy. We do it because it's difficult, but we got to do it. And that is our bottom three, right? We're going to tear it down before we build it up. So we do our bottom three, then we do our top three. Now, before the show, we were talking, and I kind of forget. Did you do a bottom three or no?
I really didn't.
Okay,
and
that's okay.
And let me explain why. Maybe if this was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, yeah, I would have. But I've come to the realization as you grow older that if it doesn't vibe with you, that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. It's just like, okay, you just don't vibe for that, but you vibe for this, so that's okay. You don't necessarily have to put any negative inconnotation to this. Whereas if we did this 20 years ago, it's like you were saying, it's just like, it's popular, don't touch it. It's they're sellouts. Like that doesn't exist. That there's no such thing as that. It's just something that you don't get drawn to. So when it comes down to listening to music or whatnot, it's just like, all right, well, I'm not going to rank this as a bottom or a top thing because it's my bottom might be the top for somebody else.
That's
absolutely.
It, right? That's the beauty of it. That kind of gives me some Simpsons reference, like the Marge rules when it came to Todd and Bart doing the golf challenge.
Yeah.
The father of the child that doesn't win, it just doesn't say loser,
Right.
Yeah.
Can we not say lose?
Can we not say lose? Yeah.
Yeah, and with that said, we totally respect that, and we will also say that, bottom three doesn't mean we don't like it.
Right.
And actually, in a lot of cases, it's like we come to these albums that are amazing, and it's hard to pick.
It's hard, yeah.
But that's the challenge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Ruben, how about we start with your most least
like
favorite, or your least most favorite, or one of those.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do all three, right? I'm just going to do one and we go around. Is that how
Yeah.
Forget.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to say my most least favorite, right?
Right? Your least favorite.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Your number
for me,
three.
That's it's Don't Stay. Don't Stay. It sets a really good pace. It does. I just feel it's a little generic in the makeup of it. I love the way it has a robotic feel to it, like the gears that are building into the album. It's a perfect opener, but it just doesn't really do it for me when it comes to lyrics.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, dude, because I picked the same one.
Yeah.
I picked the same one because I don't hate the song or anything. It's just, it's not the strongest song on the album. I think maybe they have a lot of bangers on this album.
They do.
And also, it's just, I could have done without, to be honest. Yeah.
You feel like the album still would have been really strong if they didn't have that song? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My number three is From the Inside. And again, there's nothing wrong with the song. I felt a little bit uninspired by it. And I a lot of times, especially when you're listening to a great album, it comes down to certain things, right? It's sort of like, okay, lyrically, do I feel like they're giving me something new, or are they repeating a message that I've already heard earlier on in the album? Dynamically, is the song something, again, new, or have I heard it in the album? So it just comes down to stuff like that, right? So I think my number three is From the Inside.
Did you ever see the video?
No. I
It's
purposely
pretty cool.
don't watch the videos.
Oh, okay,
for these,
okay.
Yeah.
For me, it influences because it probably would have been on my lower list, but
Yeah.
the video for me gave it a few more points.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little X-Men kid in it, and he's blowing everybody away. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They filmed it somewhere in Eastern Europe. So they're doing a big ass riot, and all these people, there's tanks and military.
Oh my God.
And the little kid starts bansheeing everybody, and just blowing everybody away. It's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
Wow. All right.
I'm going to cheat a little.
Okay.
Scratch that. I'm going to cheat a lot. And I'm going to say the very first track, which is actually the foreword, because
Oh, yeah.
And
It counts.
It counts. But here's why. And I'm sure anybody who's watching, man, that's
No,
so
bro.
cheesy.
It's on the album.
But here's the thing.
It's a loophole.
It's a loophole. Yeah. You got to find those wherever you can, folks. Honestly, I and this isn't just for Meteora, but this is for a lot of albums that use a track to play maybe 15 to 20 seconds of instrument that isn't, regardless of whether it's tied to the next song or not. I always feel like that is a missed opportunity for you to be able to put something else on the album. And going back to the interview that they had with Mike Shinoda, if you guys recall, around that time, they also released another track that was supposed to be on Meteora, but it wasn't. Lost, right.
Oh.
And their explanation is completely legitimate because they said Lost had either it was numb. Yeah.
Numb energy.
I was going to say faint, but yeah, you're right. Numb. It already had a numb song, not the numb feeling, but the numb song feel to it. So to have both of those on there, it's just like
redundant, right?
Yeah, redundant.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was out of there. But imagine what other songs they wrote for that album that they could have put as the opening track or rearranged the set list for the track list for the album. But instead they put the boom,
right,
like that, and then it's just like, and then it goes into the song that you guys are talking about.
Don't shit all over, right?
Yeah, not that you're not doo-dooing on, but like if they had just had, if they had just said,
I was like, you could cuss here.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. I've heard you guys cuss like 7 times already. But sometimes
you can say words like
sometimes though, doing the clean version is funnier because it is ridiculously silly.
Yeah,
I like bleeps.
Yes,
I miss bleeps.
But just so that we can set the tone, motherfucker. There you go.
Yeah. We gotta get an app that just bleeps us all the time.
Or like, I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie Friday, but like on TV.
I love it on USA.
You know, they're like, man, what the funk? What the funk you want?
Man, forget you.
Man.
What the fluke?
What the fluke?
Yeah. So if I am gonna, I will say the first track, Forward.
Got you. Okay.
I love that track.
How dare you?
All right.
We are enemies now.
You do it all over it. Man.
So number 2 on my my bottom list is Hit the Floor. Hit the Floor is a banger. It's cool. I just I don't know. I feel like it's like, well, that's a Linkin Park song. You know what I mean? It's like there. Literally, like I feel it has all the elements.
I feel like you're giving it a participation trophy right now.
Yeah. It's like everyone gets a trophy, you know? No, but for real, like I feel like it's like got all the elements of what you expect, but like stereotypically what you expect from a Linkin Park song. There wasn't anything really like emotionally like, you know, drawing in the lyrics or anything like that. The energy's cool though. Like at a rock show, you definitely, you know, that's maybe you go get a drink and you come back and headbang, you know, it's one of those.
Like they start playing that one, like, oh, I can use this as the bathroom break.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Is that?
For me, I was gonna say Numb, and only because not because I hate the song, but only because they played it on the radio so much that it's
especially when it got the Jay-Z remix.
Oh yeah, well I didn't
Numb
really,
Encore.
I didn't really like that version, to be honest with you, man. That was really
okay. It was okay. Like when
it
you
got them more fans.
Yeah,
it did.
It's smart. I would have done that shit.
Yeah. I would have picked DMX. You'd be like, what? Him and Chester would have been screaming back.
Like, what? Let's go critical.
But that's the only reason why it had a lot of like I said, man, it's embedded like into my mind. So when I'm dying and I'm going through all my memories, that's gonna be
that's the soundtrack,
dude. That's gonna be like a freaking soundtrack, man. Because I've heard it so much, but it's not a bad song. So we don't want to get no hate comments.
It's gonna be like do 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 do.
Yes. Someone should be taking notes right now. Like I gotta do this.
Yeah.
All right. For me, number 2 is Figure.09.
Dude, they got nominated for that.
And I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, it was like I think they actually won the Grammy for that shit or something. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Of all the songs they did,
you know,
that was the one.
It's maybe the first and only instance in the album where I felt my hand going to the
skip
to the
next track.
I'm like, you know,
Siri, play next.
I'll sit through it. Okay, fine.
All right.
I just, again, it's like, you know, nothing wrong with it. right? There's no duds on this album. It's just, I think it's later on in the album, right? It's later on in the track listing, and I get a little bit fatigue. I'm like, okay, I think I've heard this song. I think I've heard parts of this song in some of the other songs. So,
in my opinion, "Cure for the Itch" from Hybrid Theory is way stronger than Figure whatever.
Right.
Figure 9.
Figure whatever.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
For my next one, and it's not necessarily in the sense of like it's bad, it's more of like a fault thing, but I'm gonna go with Sessions, Mr. Han's solo, only because I feel like he should have gotten more. Like you hear the first one and then you hear the one that he made for, I know I keep referencing it, but I feel like I gotta keep it in people's heads.
Forefront. Yes.
Yeah, Reanimation, where then he did a remix of that, and then he had that. It's just like, man.
Oh, that's Cure for the Itch, right? Yeah, it was strong.
Yeah, and then it's just like, man, he has this, and it's just like, I wish there was more, and this is all we've got. Now it's still a great track. It's still a great. It's Mr. Han doing his thing. It's just like, let the man cook. Let him keep going a little bit more, you know?
Do you feel, because, it's Chester, it's Mike Shinoda, do you think they're missing out on Mr. Han, right? You think it would have been like he was like a key member that they should have pushed him out a little bit more?
I would say so. Yeah. But I mean, it's also kind of hard.
He did a lot of production, though.
Yeah.
Like a ton of production on the record.
And of course he's working on all the
music videos,
the
art,
and even like, the beats for the songs, but it's just like he's able to produce this album, give him more of a spotlight to work, so
shine in his specific instrument, right?
Yeah. Quick tangent on Mr. Han, because after their second album, I feel like it's very hard to find parts of their songs that feature
heavily
Mr. Han.
Right.
All the electronic shit was him. Like,
okay,
he didn't really do turntables anymore, but the electronic keyboards and all that shit that was all him. Mike helped too, but Mr. Han was the one that was triggering a lot of that shit.
Okay, that makes.
He's kind of like the Bella Bayer of.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Or maybe Mr. Han didn't want the spotlight all too much, and he probably reined it back in by the time Minutes of Midnight. But clearly, the guy's talented and just want more of that. For the album.
Times were changing, though, if you think about it, right? Like, people were kind of thinking that, like, not my opinion, but this is what everybody was saying, that it's like gimmicky,
Yeah.
I think he added a lot to what they were doing. He was a great element.
Yeah.
Cool.
Didn't Incubus also have a...
Yeah, they did.
They did.
That's right.
DJ in 1984. And we talk about this all the time, right? How he tried to... whack the other DJ.
That's right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
How weird, yeah.
A lot of bands back then had DJs, huh?
Back in the day,
Limp Bizkit. Who else?
Yeah.
That
was kind of a turn of the millennium type thing to do, huh?
It was, yeah. A band I was in, my drummer's cousin had a turntable, and like he brought him a couple times, and I was like, yeah, we'll do that. And then just no one said anything. We're just like, yeah, okay.
Did anybody do it locally? I didn't see that set up locally.
No.
Right?
No.
What about you, Mike? You played with any bands that wanted a DJ or anything like that?
No. I think that's more of like a... Well, I would say East Coast, but isn't Incubus from LA?
Yeah, they're from LA.
That's right. Yeah. So
I would say it's like an East San Jose thing, but no.
Wish we could say that, but yeah, or maybe not.
Zeke, we're on Zeke, right? I think.
Are we?
Oh, I think back in the rotation, right?
Or no, is it you?
Yeah.
Whatever,
that's right.
It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Okay, so for me,
I got lost in the conversation.
It's
no, we're all
my least liked song, just 100% honesty, is Numb. For me, it's a good song. It got very oversaturated, right? I remember I went to the local Live 105, the San Francisco station. I went to the mall they used to do during Christmas. I forgot what it was called in San Francisco. They would broadcast out of there. And the dude would say, do the roulette, pick the thing, and you'll win tickets to something. And every single time I'd be like, Linkin Park's Numb. Linkin Park's Numb. Because it was always on the radio.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a surefire, thing. Eventually I won. But yeah, whatever. But for me, like, other than that.
You would think that the song that helped him win would not be in his bottom 3 because he got something out of it.
But for me, like, I have a mutant power where I can, like, see patterns in music. Not really, but you know what I mean. Like, I can see patterns in music. So when I heard Numb, I was like, fuck, they did that already on Hybrid Theory. It's a song called Pushing Me Away. And I liked Pushing Me Away a lot. It's the song that closed out Hybrid Theory. And I was like, don't you guys hear it? It's the same song. Like that meme with Pam, and she's like, it's the same thing, And nobody heard it. It was like, no, Numb is great. It's the best. And then I heard the band in some footage, and they're like, yeah, we basically did that song, but better on this album. And I was like, fuck you guys. I'm like, you admitted it, So yeah, it's my least. Yeah.
Damn. I didn't see that pattern, man. For me, it's gonna be the Forward, the opener. Yeah. And only because I couldn't find. I was trying to find another song I didn't like, but every time I put it on, I'm like, all right.
Are you reading his notes too? Like
I was.
You were reading Bella's last time.
I see Taylor Swift over there on your phone, man. But
It's a boom chicka pow wow.
But yeah,
I always wanted to make a joke about Taylor Swift, but I'm just so
not on
afraid.
here. You won't.
No,
Let me finish. I'm so afraid that those
I could
Swifties
deal
will
with the
kill
Marilyn
me.
Manson.
The Mansies?
Yeah, the
Mansies.
Mansies. Swifties, I don't fuck
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't do it.
The Drake fans, I mean, you could try.
Yeah, have fun. I guess.
Come on, Manuel.
Drake's like the most famous dork.
He sure is. Comment on that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I had to cheat. I picked that one.
It counts.
It counts, yeah.
You
There's
know?
a track.
Yeah. Because overall, dude, I love the album.
Yeah.
So for me, and actually I'm glad that you said this about Numb, because my choice is not Numb. It's Somewhere I Belong. But for the same reasons. And I wanted to get into this a little bit further about Linkin Park, because I was trying to figure out, okay, why were they such a huge band in that little square of time with these first 2 albums, and putting together how Hybrid Theory and Meteora, they fit in a very similar space.
They do, yeah.
Sound-wise, lyric-wise, narrative-wise. Meteora really does feel like a continuation of Hybrid Theory, which I think is a good move.
Yeah.
Like, you should do that, right? So everyone I know getting into Linkin Park that is around my age, it's like, okay, so really paying attention to the lyrics, right? What resonates with a teenage audience with these lyrics? And it's just the idea, this very overshadowing theme of like feeling sad, feeling lonely, feeling
Like an outcast, right?
traumatized, feeling like you're alone in the universe. And for me, it always slightly annoyed me at the time. At the time, it always slightly annoyed me. Like, okay, we get it. You feel bad. We get that you feel bad. But it's also knowing now that it actually was really coming from a
real place.
an honest place, right?
Yeah.
An honest place. I respect the hell out of it. Like, I much more than I did then. But it's also the criticism I have for Somewhere I Belong, because it's like, okay, putting myself back in those shoes back in 2003 and hearing the song for the first time, I just thought to myself, I already heard this on Hybrid Theory.
Right.
Give me something else. And then, of course, it'd be another 4 years until their next album came out, Minutes to Midnight. And what did they do? They gave me something else. So good for them.
Yeah, they stopped doing PRS and they jumped to Fenders. Completely different sound.
Yeah.
From a guitar perspective.
Yeah.
You got a lot of flack for that album, right? The Minutes to Midnight.
It was one of their most successful ones, wasn't it? I mean, I know the first 2 were
Trajectory.
huge.
It kind of went like that for them.
It's slow a little.
Yeah.
I feel like they gained a lot of fans. Well, maybe not figures wise, but I feel like people took them a little more serious.
Well, I think like Transformers
Yeah.
really helped prop that album up.
Yeah.
So I would say like their first 3 albums were huge, right? But yeah.
I'll say Somewhere I Belong also. That was the introduction to Meteora. That was the first song that they played on the radio for them.
First single, yeah.
Yeah, it was their first single. But mine's more of in a different direction in that it overshadowed everything else. Even when they put out the other songs for play, like Breaking the Habit and Faint, it still felt like they were leaning very heavily on Somewhere I Belong.
The radio played the shit out of it.
Yeah, it just hammered it into people, which isn't a bad thing.
It was like Crawling Part 2, kind of, right?
I don't necessarily have a negative thought in that sense. If anything, for me, I felt it was very much different than Hybrid Theory. To each their own, the way they absorb information and sound and whatnot. But for me, it was something that I thought like, that's not quite what I remember the band being for, but it doesn't sound bad. But when you force feed that song and then you try to like, here's the other stuff and here's the other stuff. I guess because of that, it made me more appreciative of the other songs. It's like, oh, finally they're playing something different, and being able to appreciate those songs some more. So even though it's, I would consider it like, as far as my list of things, it still served its purpose in that I'm able to appreciate the other songs a lot more because that was the only thing that they gave us for a while. So,
Cool.
No.
For me, on the tops, number 3 for me is Somewhere I Belong. I always reference the videos, right? Anytime it's like, but did you see the video? They did some cool shit with the artwork. They used these, it reminded me of the Dark Crystal. They used this creature that's got like the long arms, the ones in the movie where they ride them or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the creatures that's in the background,
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of the visuals were cool, and I dug that this is something that Chester was noodling around on the guitar with, and I think he really wanted to contribute, but you got Brad Delson and Mike Shinoda on guitar already.
yeah.
So Mr. Hahn was like, let me record what you did, and then I feel that's like when you're playing a video game and your little cousin comes and you just give him the old generation controller. So like he basically recorded that, and then he like did it backwards. And he cut and pasted it. So that's Chester playing the guitar.
Wow.
That backwards sound. It's cool.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it too.
You get the reference with the video game thing, because it's like, yeah, you're on it,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's very Linkin Parky.
Damn. We're on the tops right now, right?
Yeah, we're on the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Because this was on somebody's bottom list. It's called Hit the Floor.
That was mine.
That was it?
That was mine.
Only because I think it perfectly describes Linkin Park, I guess you could say. Without showing anybody the hits, you'd be like, well, what is Linkin Park during that time? Right? And I would show them this song in particular, because I'm like, well, this perfectly describes. It's a short, straight to the point song where it's just their formula.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I very much liked it because it was very catchy and straight to the point and short.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hot take, but my most favorite song on the album is
Wait a minute. Your least.
Number three.
my least
Isn't
most.
it your top 3?
Right.
So this is number 3.
Okay.
Top 3, but
So this is 3 then. This is
Yeah,
just
this
3.
is 3.
Yeah.
What's number 3? Your top.
I just feel like confusing everybody.
Mission accomplished, sir.
man, they're like, what the fuck? What show am I?
Session.
Cool.
I'm going with Session for number 3.
Oh man, that is
I felt like it came at a time in the album where they needed just a little bit of a wild card or something, a little bit of a wrench in the gears
flow.
there, And I like the progression and the energy of the song. It felt different from the rest of the album because honestly, it was just the one guy, Mr. Hahn. And oddly enough, and I know I'm harping on the lyrics a lot. I felt like this song spoke to me a little bit more than the
Wow.
than the rest of the album.
The one that has no spoken words into it spoke to you the most.
But here's the thing: is like I think if you're in the right mood, then the album really speaks to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as an assignment for the podcast, when I'm like, hey, I'm having a good day, and then I turn on the album, it's like, okay, this is all cool, but like I'm not feeling sad or angry right now. And then here's this like little ditty. Here's this little Mr. Han ditty, you know, and it's a fun little thing. Yeah. So that's my number 3.
Okay. Well, that's number 3. Cool. Well, no, I see where you're going with that, though, because you're right. It's we've said it a bunch of times already that they go on this album. There's not a stop.
Right.
Right.
But there is a slowdown, which is for you sessions, which kind of gives you a moment to breathe.
Yes.
Before they finish it off with Numb.
Yes.
So I see where you're going with that. So I tried specifically to not, for this list, just so that it was a little bit more interesting, to not rely on the singles for the top 3. But that is very, very hard because those top 3 or those singles, they're bangers.
They're bangers.
Yeah.
They are bangers. So for this one, my number 3 had to be Faint. It was
Good song.
It was different in the introduction. You hear like the violin, like, well, and then it's just like, wait, what's going on? Like we've just heard everything else, and you hear that, and then drums, and then guitar jumps in, and it's just boom, and it's fast, and the music video for it is them just performing at concerts for it. But there's that epic moment where you see Chester jump in the air and he's about to land as it's about to go into the crescendo of the last chorus. It's just, that was the first song that they played after Somewhere I Belong. So there was that moment of just like finally something different.
Yeah.
And that was the different. And it was just like, damn, that's awesome. That sets it up for the rest of it. So for my number 3, and it's the only of the singles. I'm not knocking on Breaking the Habit, Somewhere I Belong. I'm not doing that, but that one is the one that made it to the top.
Nice.
Cool. For me, number 2 on my list is Easier to Run. I think it took elements of stuff that they did in the last record, but I think they did it really good. I feel like the balance with Mike and Chester was fantastic. Like I love the way they blend into their parts. They're just woven like, so I don't know. They were just on their A game.
Yeah.
For me, it's that like last verse going into the end of the song. I just love the way that it just hits.
Yeah.
Mike's a wordsmith, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny when that song came on the album. When I was listening to it, I was like, oh man, I don't like this song. And then I really got into it. Because I was already marking it on my list. It's going to be on my bottom. But
yeah.
I was like, oh, man, it really pulls you in. For me, it was like a slow burner that it does draw you in. But on my favorite, it's called Nobody's Listening. I think it had a lot of hip-hop flavor into it.
A really good flow, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, so I really like the feel of it. I thought it was really different from everything else on the album.
That was one where I felt like Mike was able to have a little bit more fun with that.
Yeah.
It was more, let's show everybody Mike's lyrical game.
Yeah, exactly. You could tell he probably fought for that song. You know, the producers were probably like, well, does it really fit? You know,
Right.
Yeah. But I really loved it because it felt like, it felt different. It felt different.
I feel like they reversed their formula a little bit. That's what I feel like. It was like a little leaning more towards him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we needed a little bit more of it. Would have been cool to have a little bit more of that on this album. I think maybe another song on it, but man, I love this one.
Cool. My number 2 is the same as Ruben's, Easier to Run. I feel like it showcases the delicacy of Chester's vocals and gives you a glimpse of his real struggles. And the song really flatters his voice. And just to give you a little sneak peek into kind of my my top two choices. I was looking for stuff that gave me, because I already have context for where their sound was heading, right? And for my choices, it's sort of like, except for progression, obviously. Session. It was like, okay, we're starting to kind of see who Chester is in this song, right? And even though those first two albums of Linkin Park are like, again, like their biggest albums, I don't feel like you yet get to really dive into the personalities of Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington as much as you do later on, right? They like, and I know this is sort of deviating, but you know, by the time you get to stuff like The Hunting Party and Lights Out, it's like this band is doing whatever the fuck they want, and it's like great, yeah. Right? And I felt like this song, again, you're starting to kind of get to know Chester a bit more, which was awesome.
My number 2 is Hit the Floor, because you completely forget about it, and then you hear it, and it's just like, damn. Like, how did I forget you? Which again, because the album is so good, there's ones that are going to end up falling out. But then you hear it again, and it's just like, oh, I forgot you were there. Sorry about that. Damn, holy crap. You know, every time I hear, like, I'll let the music just go on shuffle, and then when it goes to that one, I'm just like, oh yeah, you were on that album. Oh yeah, you are a good song. Damn, I'm sorry. You know what? It's like that new mutant on X-Men called Forget Me Not, where his mutant power is if nobody is actually looking directly at him, nobody knows he exists until they actually see him, and then he's just like, oh, he's there. And then if you were to turn to the side, you completely forgot. That's his mutant power. That's Hit the Floor for me. That is its mutant power. It is the Forget Me Not. And then when you remember it, it's like, damn, that's awesome.
That's crazy. That's like the theory of like nothing really exists until you actually see it, right? Like outside right now, nothing's there.
Right.
Well, that's real, right?
No, that's
wait. Well, right, yeah.
There is an equal opportunity that is real and not real.
Schrodinger's cat. Yeah, he's dead and he's also not dead, right? Yeah.
There's poison in the box, yada, yada.
Right.
Yada. And drugs.
What kind of drugs?
Yes.
What kind of
Flintstone Kid.
You'll have to watch the Futurama episode when they talk about that to get the reference. Yeah, we're old.
All right, so let me bring it home. For me, number 1 on my list, Breaking the Habit. Like, just it's the undisputed one.
It's a good
for me,
choice.
Man. It's the shit. The video was awesome. Mike wrote this one. And I think Chester did a great job. You know, you listen to the lyrics and you wouldn't think that.
Yeah.
But I think Chester fucking nailed it.
Yeah, good choice.
Talks about the cohesiveness of both songwriters in that.
Right. And I heard Mike struggled with that song for like a long time. He really, like, he was like, I got to figure this out. And I think what they did was perfect.
Mine is going to be From the Inside. And this was somebody's bottom choice. I can't remember. It was probably Ruben.
That was me.
Oh, you, Mike?
Yeah.
All right.
Remember I said the X-Men thing? We screaming and shit.
Yeah.
Only because it got me nostalgic. It's very new metal. Again, you'll come into like a little new metal splinters here and there, but it just made me think about like it put me right in that age, you know. So like I said, going back to, I would have appreciated more if I listened to this when it first came out, you know. But I think this song in particular was it stood out to me, and I think it was the one song that I did repeat on it besides the singles, because I've heard the singles so many times before.
Yeah. Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
My top is Hit the Floor. You know, honestly, I had forgotten about this song. And then when I re-listened to it this week, I'm like...
What did I just say?
Yeah.
What did I just say?
You said you wanted to cuddle with the song, right?
It was pure anger. It's like pure anger without the angst. Pure anger without the whatever. It's just a nice angry song, and it's a great example of Chester and Mike's call and response, and you know how they kind of button each other, and you know, I think the real beauty of Linkin Park is just those two working in tandem with each other on these songs. And yeah, I mean, I think if there was a song that's like, oh, what's the Linkin Park song? Go ahead and explain Linkin Park to me. I think it's probably Hit the Floor for me. Yeah.
My top one, and just to go on a side tangent here, I've been recording covers of songs. I really want to do this one, and I want to do both of them. I want to do both Mike and Chester because I think it's so good. And that one for me is Lying From You, because I feel like that is such a good presentation of Mike and I'm sorry, it's just this song is so badass to me because of the fact that they work so well together, where you have one screaming, you have one rapping, and they're mingled in together in the song. And they're still complimenting each other as they go when they do that. And it's to me, for me, this is the epitome of the album. This is like, okay, you have your singles, that's great, but you really need to listen to this song. Lying From You is the one that you have to listen to if you were to judge it by anything else, because it's the entire band being that cohesive unit. And to me, I'll say that's the best song, just in general. That's the best song of the album. So for me, it's going to be Lying From You.
Cool.
Now, me trying to hit those Chester notes, it's going to take a decade, but damn it, I'm going to do it.
Careful you don't blow out your voice.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. I'm well aware.
He blew out his voice going into this album.
Yeah.
He blew out his voice.
Oh,
when
shit.
Touring
I didn't know that.
Theory.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's even ones where he's holding the note, he's holding the scream. Someone timed it. It wasn't for this song, but for one of their songs. He held it for 17 seconds.
Crawling. Yeah.
Just holding that note.
Oh, God.
Imagine holding that screech for 17 seconds.
It makes my throat hurt just thinking about it.
Over a quarter of a minute.
Well, he does. What do you call that shit? Fry. He does vocal fry screaming.
Right.
Yeah.
I get
You
the
gotta be
concept,
careful.
but it's hard to do that shit.
Well,
Yeah.
you got to be careful with it.
What is the definition of that?
It's like it comes from a different place. Yeah.
Like to start it low, it'd be like, and
Yeah,
then you
it's
just
in
start,
there.
and
Exactly.
then you start bringing up the sound,
pitch.
the
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the concept, but it's really hard to do that shit.
Right.
It's that rasp.
Yeah.
You know?
What does Chino Marino do?
He does something like that too. It's kind of like a vocal fry, but like if a cat did it.
Because he blew out,
He blew out his voice.
He blew out his
after
voice.
White Pony. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Going into Deftones, his voice is blown out.
I read articles where he felt bad, like he couldn't reach those notes anymore, but he's like, it is what it is, you know? Like,
Yeah.
It happens to every single...
Yep.
I mean, look what happened to Bruce Dickinson.
Look what happened to Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
I just, you know... It's crazy.
You're gonna make me cry, sir. You need to stop that Chris Cornell stuff. You make me cry.
He's my favorite.
I know
Chris
he
Cornell
is.
is my absolute favorite.
I know he is.
Yeah.
You posted a video of you doing Not Like a Stone. I Am the Highway.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm just like, that son of a bitch. He stole my song. 'Cause that's my song on karaoke.
It's, you know, Chris Cornell. Hey, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother. We'll
That's
do
another
that.
can of worms right there.
we need to
Yeah.
do one of
We
his
got to do
solo
screams.
Scream. Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Scream.
You heard that album, right?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about.
Let's move on.
I thought you guys were talking
Yeah.
about Dave Grohl's first band. Scream.
Oh, no.
No.
So
Strike that from the record.
How dare you bring up Dave Grohl's name on our show?
No. The album Scream.
We're talking about,
Yeah, I know.
now we get into the most painful part of the podcast.
Uh-oh.
But we've decided to do this, and I will preface every time we do this. These are not our opinions, right? We obviously have the utmost respect for every album that we listen to. However, part of the mechanics of this podcast is to pull up a unfavorable review and see if we agree with it. Now, with the Lana Del Rey episode, I actually cut that out of the episode because it was a bit too harsh.
Oof.
Yeah, that was a bit too harsh. So I try
Mean
to
as fuck. Yeah.
I try to keep it light. All right. So this is a review from Amazon. 1 out of 5 stars. Kronos was right. I don't know what that means.
Kronos. He's probably
God of War?
social media
I don't know.
juggernaut.
I always imagine this is like Carl from fucking Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah. Meteora, spelt wrong.
Spelled wrong.
Meteora is about as original as the next album from the next artist. I'm sick of hearing little and big people alike come around and act proud that
Wait, what? Little.
I'm
Can you imagine Carl? Aren't you?
I think we
You broke him. What was it called? Too Wicked? Carl was called Too Wicked.
Oh God!
I'm sick of hearing little and big people alike come around. And,
Should I leave the room?
no, you're good.
You're good.
And act proud that they're listening to Linkin Park. It's not that angry, guys. What makes you want to be angry listening to this? I get angry. I get angry listening to singer trying to scream. You suck. Your whole band is about as angry as Norah Jones. Good job, guys. You just won Best Rock from MTV, a channel dedicated to kids who don't know what rock is. Same goes for that girl crap from Velvet Revolver and Evanescence.
What?
No excuses. Look at Kitty. I don't know what that means.
I think Kitty the
King
band.
Band.
Yeah.
It's like an abomination of grammar. Maybe just stop.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why. Well, that's why.
Man.
Go suck on small objects. The only people who can pull off that. Never mind.
Go suck on small objects.
Anyway, help support music by not wasting. Okay. Also, Cannibal Corpse does effing rule, and death metal is all.
Now that makes a lot more sense.
And death metal is all us real rockers got to mosh to.
How long ago did they post this comment, by the way?
This was back in like 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people will actually go on there and review really old albums, and it'll come up on the algorithm because it was a more recent.
Right.
So that's what I thought that was. Genuinely, I thought someone went over there like 3 years ago on the Meteora album,
Right.
and put that on there. That's how it sounded like as you read it. Like this guy just went on there just a little while ago and posted this. Like, was that you? Did you post this?
Oh, man, I love Norah Jones, by the way.
I listened to Kitty recently for the first time.
They just put out an album.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I met them in
Whoa.
99 or something like that. Yeah.
That's cool.
Andrew Silva was like a big stalker or whatever.
Oh, that's fun.
And then we went thinking that it was like cool, you know, like he was like, yeah, you know, and then they like freaked out. And I was like, oh, fuck, we're not supposed to be.
Oh, no.
It was hell, but they were super nice. They were super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are cool. Get him out of here.
No, I mean, it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's the review. Obviously, we don't agree with that, but there you go.
It was funny, though.
Yeah,
Because we like little and big, people.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
I'm tired of little and big people
And my
coming
wife watches that
around,
show on TLC all the time.
The little big people?
Yeah.
Is it your show?
just coming around and acting like they're
Big world
angry.
of-
So did he say we should like suck on a
so.
Tic Tac when he said little things? Because
I don't know. I don't know what that
Legos,
was.
maybe?
I could go for a Tic Tac right now.
Yeah. Go suck an egg.
Go suck
That's
an
what
egg.
Wolverine says.
Yeah. You scum sucking parasite. That's Wolverine.
What is this guy's tag name? Can you put that out there or not really?
I shouldn't.
No, don't do it. Don't give him
Yeah.
the satisfaction.
We'll add it in like captions.
Yeah.
Like you just hear
Yeah.
the pop sound like
Yeah.
Anyways, that's been Let's Get Critical. We did a very, very big, famous album, Linkin Park's Meteora. We are no longer on the Let Me Listen podcast network, but you can find us on our YouTube page along with our music videos. We release these episodes once every 2 weeks.
Bi-weekly, yep.
Yeah, and we're getting back out there. We're getting back out there and doing shows, so look for information on that as well. This has been the Let's Get Critical podcast. Thanks for joining us, E-Man, and we will see you all next time. Yeah!
You may find more information about the band Frantic Romantic by visiting franticromanticmusic.com, as well as our social media platforms. We're always posting information about concerts, new music, and more. So please, visit us, reach out to us. Let us know if there's any albums you'd love for us to review. Until next time, this has been Let's Get Critical. You can catch Frantic Romantic September 14th at the Art Boutique in San Jose, California. We look forward to seeing you there.